Good evening, everyone. It is Monday night, Labor Day, and hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. It was quite wet here where most of us are, so I think today was kind of a lost cause. But as we make the turn into the second week of the course, I'd just like to spend a few minutes telling you a little bit more about where we're at and how things are going and how I see them, and a couple observations on the discussions and the answers to some of your introductions and things like that. As I probably alluded to in a couple of the earlier videos, these are kind of feeling it out weeks. These are when we learn a little bit about each other, a little bit more about the course, a little bit about the basics that we need to cover. And a lot of that has to do with my absorbing the introductions, which I thank everyone for. Just about everybody got that done. So again, thank you very much. And most of you got in the work on the first assignment, which is not a real formal assignment, but it is just to talk about what do you know about financial management? What's your familiarity? What's your comfort level? Where do we have to start? And based on that, I think we have selected a lot of the right material to move into the second part of this week and into next week as we go ahead and start Unit 2. So this week, let's stay in Unit 1 if we can. And one of the things I would like people to finish up, which has not quite been completed by everybody, is that what I'm calling a tricky question. It's something that I am just as much interested in the thought process that goes into your answer as into the answer itself. So I'm not going to reveal that answer yet. It is at the beginning of Unit 2, and I ask that you not check into that until we get there. But I am very interested in the thought process that's going into this. But a couple observations on the introductions. I notice a lot of people expressed an interest in athletic administration going forward. The idea of being someone on an institutional staff at either the professional, collegiate, high school levels, but athletic administration seems to be a big goal for a lot of people. And for that, these first couple of weeks where we start looking at basic financial management techniques are very important. We'll look more at budgeting. We'll look more at revenue sources. This second part of the unit, we start looking more at how do teams start making their money as we go into this week and next. But this week I want you to concentrate on that accounting material. Boring? Yeah, probably is. But budgeting is to some degree an art form. And I'd like to look at, as you might say, budgeting is a bit of storytelling in advance. It's storytelling with numbers. It's the process of telling whoever is your constituency, your funding source, whether it be a business like a pro team, an institution like a college or a high school, you're telling the authorities that you work with, your colleagues, your superiors, your subordinates, you're telling them, this is what I plan to do. And it will be reflected in this is what it's going to cost, and this is what money we're going to spend, and this is how we're going to spend that money. It's really not much more complicated than that. But we're looking at that in a couple of ways. We're looking at it whether we start looking at what we spent in a prior period, or we're looking at it as we're just treating the current period that we're budgeting for as a brand new clean slate and starting from zero. These are two competing methods that you see more often than not. The first, the building on what you've done before, would be called incremental budgeting. The second, where we start every budgeting period with a clean slate, is called zero-based. And these are pretty simple concepts to understand, but to manage them and do them well, it takes a lot of practice and understanding the inputs that are coming in. And that's where the accounting numbers come into it. So you will see that, and one of the things we will introduce this week is more about financial reporting. So we're going to have some opportunities to do some things with that. A couple people have asked about assignments and things like that. The one thing I have had a chance to go back to a couple of emails, but I just think I'd say this generally to everyone. Make sure when something is an assignment, you take a look at it. I will put boldface within that unit the word assignment, and then whatever it is. And if you click on that link, the first thing that will come up will be a notification from Blackboard as to when the assignment is due and the points possible. Okay. That's how the assignment links work. If there's a rubric for that assignment, it will also come up. So that is just the simple answer. How do I tell when something's due? The other way to tell is listen to these videos. Listen to videos. I would say watch these videos. Okay, they are important. They're not me, as you can see. I'm not doing anything fancy here. I'm trying to convey information in the most timely and normal fashion. This is just what we do if we were meeting on campus. This is probably, the last thing I'd say to you on a Thursday morning or something like that. So look at it that way. If you do have questions, obviously email me, and email is the best way to get in touch. So that little tidbit, I think, is just, again, basic information, but everyone does online classes differently. And this is a way of communication that I use frequently. So again, thank you for the inputs so far. It is very important to me this week. That's why you haven't seen me coming in and like challenging anybody's assumptions or anything like that. This first week, it is more for educating me. It's not for me trying to come in and stimulate the discussion in one way or another. That's not the role. It is kind of like I said earlier, it's for us to get to know each other, to know what we already know, to know what we want to know, and what we need to know, and that's where we're going. So thank you very much. I appreciate everything you've done so far, and it's Tuesday already almost. So appreciate everything. Thanks again. Talk to you later.